Hey guys, what is up? I wanted to do a series on games that specifically had mixed reviews or negative reviews that either piqued my interest or just I wanted to test out and see what they were like. Or ones that I have knowledge of and don't necessarily agree with the general opinion. In this case, I'm kind of copping out on this one. This is Two Worlds. You would know from the title of the video, you would not know from this title screen because this is so nondescript. But I wanted to start with this one just because it's an easy one for me to do. I know it pretty well. Everybody kind of knows it's a very good, bad game. It's like well, it didn't do itself any favours because it advertised itself as Oblivion on crack, which, oh god, well, you'll soon see that is not the case, but that was its leading competition at the time, and would probably explain why it did as bad as it did. So, I love this game, it's my guilty pleasure, so I'll try to explain to you why I like it. Alright, we'll get into our amazing character creation. Oof. What do I remember? These changes... Oh, that's right, the changes... I don't think they affect the character in the cutscene. I think the cutscene is made with a pre-made character. Hey now. You're already showing your best colours now. Calm down, game. We've still got plenty to go. Don't think I'm going to get too in-depth with all this. We're going to be a throwaway character anyway. So we shall jump in. In case you're wondering, the video is this pixely, this isn't my recording.
Why did you not tell me? You will bleed to death.
'Tis just a flesh wound. We must ride on.
You passed out. This wound may become infected if I do not see to it.
Let us go on. Please.
Hush. They will not find us in such a storm as this. You must rest. So you thought you could escape me? The building is empty. We can pass the night here.
Yeah, nothing like my character at all. And he's got a beard and everything. Not the most effective scythes there, boys.
"'Tis probably him. Run! Tell a village elder."
Where can I find the village elder?
Are you that bounty hunter? Not many of you left in Talmont, eh?
Aye. Look upon a rarity while you can, for I shall be gone soon.
The village elder will be here directly. They have found another body.
I shall wait.
Your sister is alive. Be in Talmont during the second week of harvest. Wait for us there. We will find you. Be patient, and no one will be harmed.
Tis the harvest season here now.
The harvest will be bountiful this year. Sadly, not all will be able to rejoice with us.
Good day to you. Are you the village elder? I have heard of these bodies. Where did this take place?
We found the bodies near the ruins to the north of here. 2 people are still missing.
So, what's wrong with your
Did you look
face?
in the ruins?
Nay, too many have died already. 'Tis an accursed place, that is.
I shall need a guide. I want to be there before sunset.
As you wish. Though 'twould be wiser to wait until dawn.
I do not have sufficient time.
Oh, goodness. Obviously, the dialogue is not winning in this
I'll go
situation.
no further than this. Go straight down to the gates there.
Do you fear this place so much?
We're peasants, not soldiers. Since the dwarves went north, 'tis only Gromes that visit this temple.
Return to the village. You have done your part.
Okay, I did forget to do my little intro. So this is developed by Reality Pump, and it was published by Topware back in 2007, so give it a little bit of leeway, but I mean, it still looks pretty bad. Compared to Oblivion and stuff around the time, it's still not ideal. So I already feel like I'm fighting from a backstep here. I will tell you why I like this game. There are reasons, I assure you. Unfortunately, as soon as you see the combat, you're already going to be like, I don't know about that. Because the combat is, well, the animation, at least, is not ideal. So it's a simple kind of, there's no blocking, it's all dodging. But the animation for the sword, like, that's not an attack animation, that's just a flourish. You don't actually fight like that. And we have leveled up. So, well, there's one good thing I can show off. The skill tree is quite in-depth, and I do like, you can definitely spec out some pretty cool characters. Put some points of vitality, a bit of strength. But 1 in magic. Seems this is going to be a throwaway character. I'm not too concerned. Usually good to go for lockpicking at the beginning. There's even horse riding. You can even spec into it. There's traps. There's magic, archery, alchemy. There's a bit of everything. So I think at the early game, definitely nothing too amazing to show off, unfortunately. The late game gets better. Let's go with just damage increase. Okay. Loot, exploration, they're both pretty good.
Let's have a look.
Animations, definitely not. I thought that was a loot chest, but I guess not. We're coming back here later. Alright, here comes more fantastic dialogue.
I told you not to follow me. Why are you here?
The village elder sent me. He wanted me to bring you the payment should you not return to the village.
And why should I not go back there, pray?
Some people came to Cormoran when you left. They asked for you.
People? Tell me more. Swiftly now.
Warriors. Hired ones. Not very friendly. One of them stayed to await your return.
Ha! The elder clearly thought I would run rather than meet this man. Forsooth, 'twas generous, but he now has lost the chance to save money.
I do not understand.
Where I come from, no one pays unless forced to.
Nay, in Talmont we honor good work.
'Twould appear I have much to learn of Talmont. Will you return with me?
But that tough stranger,
He should have been here a long time ago.
mayhap a friend of yours?
No, but he has something for which I have searched for a long, long time. Pray tell me, friend, exactly where can I find him?
In a hut, south of the village. The mayor offered him better lodgings, but he refused.
Mayhap, forsooth. Yeah, so this dialogue got a lot of shit when it came out as well, but in fairness, it's a more realistic fantasy kind of thing. It's not necessary. I don't have a problem with it personally, but I know a lot of people were like, put it on a little bit too thick.
Since Skeldon's rule of Talmont began 5 years ago, things have gone bad. Every village is isolated now.
Could this be why you hired me when you could have called the guards?
Ebrat Skeldon, the leader of the ruling house, concerns himself only with rebels. We have learned to solve our own problems.
I saw no patrols on the roads.
Guards are afraid of the rebels. Altar Kaga wants to regain power, and his Karga clan is all over the mountains here.
So there's a lot of political machinations which are kind of on the side unless you ask about them, but I think they do end up playing a main part in the plot. And there's a lot of stuff about orcs.
I have never seen an orc in my life. Groms and bandits are our plague, and the Skeldon House men are the worst of the bandits. They put you to work in the mines if they think you sympathize with the rebels.
Who are these rebels?
Ultar Kaga was once the ruler of Talmont, but an edict of King Emry's forced him to hand over to the House of Skeldon. 5 years ago, that was. We all thought we had seen the last of him, but then they returned. And with them came the rumor that Lord Skeldon had hatched a plot against the king himself.
Is there any truth behind this rumor?
How can we common villagers know of events in court? I can tell you only that Ebrat Skeldon proved many times that he cares only for the good of the house.
So yeah, much like Gothic, the Gothic series, orcs take a very big part in both this game and the second one.
Be cautious.
Okay, dokie. So another good thing I like about this game is, well, I do like it, but also probably the reason why I never finished it, huge world. There is a lot to this game. In fact, if anything, I would say it's a little bit too bloated, because I want to say I put a good 50 hours into this, and I feel like I didn't see half the places in it. But it's definitely one of those games that rewards exploration. There's like stuff off every little path. There's an absolute massive amount of stuff to collect if you're into alchemy.
Ah, that's interesting.
The alchemy system's quite interesting. I'll show you that in a second once I collect a few more things. I don't know if I'm ready for a black bear. Let's see. Enemies are pretty easy. They give you a pretty big tell. That said, there are some enemies that will like 1 or 2 shot you. Also, this guy's going to take forever to kill, so I'm going to pass. This is our little... There are magic sources and there are revival points. So this is a magic point. Just restores your mana if you need to. Hard to see because I am covering it with my body, but there is a hot bar in the bottom left corner. Oh no. That was a bad time to sneeze. Okay. Yeah, the Groms are not orcs, despite what they look like. I think they're basically the game's goblins. They seem to be obsessed with a woman called Brenda, because that's what they seem to say. I know this is not a selling point, like, I'm not really showing the greatest aspects of, the combat, but... I assure you this game really... I don't know, there's some simplicity to it. I can totally understand people wanting a more in-depth, crazy system, but Oblivion... Even today, people say they hated the combat in Oblivion. I mean, this ends up... You can get a lot of skills that you can use, you can obviously have that crazy magic system, so Two Worlds 1 and Two Worlds 2 has quite an interesting combat system in it. 2 probably more so, because you could basically kind of fuse spells together and it had just... In fact, I've seen people say that 2 has one of the best magic systems in RPGs ever, which is quite impressive. I don't think 1 is quite as in-depth, but it's still pretty impressive. So if we go to our magic, basically we put in a spell. In this case we have 3, got heal and firebolt, and then we get these things that will just give little boosts. So that means it won't cost as much mana, and this simply increases the strength. And you're basically going to be speccing into 4 different types of magic as you go along. Oh, 5? Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Lockpicking, interestingly, is chance-based, which doesn't bother me too much.
Interesting.
Means you're at the mercy of RNG, obviously, but it never particularly annoyed me. As long as you have enough lockpicks, it's fine. And it gives you an incentive to invest in the lockpick skill. Now, the other thing, can I show you? Yes. So the strangest thing this game does, and I find it very satisfying. Most people probably don't. The weapons, you improve them by combining 2 of the same. So there was a class 1, but now it's a class 2. So you just collect up weapons and combine them into each other and make stronger weapons. It's so dumb, but I love it. Oops. That's not how we equip things. Alchemy. So basically, so you can get a lot of things like this that actually increase your points permanently, which is amazing. And if you want to make something, you need a base potion. I usually use this mana potion or a health potion. Then you put in your ingredient. Don't want to put in anything temporary. We'll make this a permanent. Bam. So now you can name it. I mean, we're never going to make the same potion twice anyway. They're usually going to combine random stuff. So I'll just delete the formula. And I will drink. Wait, now if I right click, I'm going to drop an armor. Yes. What is the quick way to drink? Do I have to put on my hotbar? Guess I do. No? My god. Don't remember anything. Actually, I do remember there was putting stuff on hotbars was stupidly hard for some reason. It's not as simple as this pressing the button that it's associated with. And you can't click drag onto certain pieces, maybe? I just remember it being very hit and miss. No, I don't know. With your gems, you can just add them straight onto a thing, much like powering up a weapon. We won't waste it now. And they stack. So basically, you end up in this situation where you might have a fire weapon, or you might have an ice weapon. And every time you find a gem, you'll just keep adding onto it, and it'll do more and more damage. So you end up with these really weird super weapons. Also, important to note, and I do love this, I wish more games did this. I wished Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls games did them. I think maybe they did in the earlier ones. I'm not sure. But the difference between slashing weapons and blunt weapons. I think that's cool. So you're using blunt weapons against like skeletons and stuff like that for extra damage. I hate when you're in Oblivion and you're using a sword to slash at a skeleton because it just doesn't make any sense.
Welcome, traveler.
So our dialogue windows, we see
Good day. Well met.
this man's a merchant because he's got a money bag. But if we see a green icon,
Nice to see you.
Good day to you.
I think there's someone in here. Yeah, this guy.
Good day to you, mercenary.
He has a quest.
I heard about your conduct in the temple. I believe I could use someone like you.
Is there a problem?
Well, last year, many people from Comorin left to settle in a new village, which they called Broomhill. I told them it was too close to a glacier, but they did not listen. I have not received any news from them in a long time, and, well, I need someone to go there and find out if all is well.
I can do this.
I thank you. Snow orcs live on that glacier, and those beasts are horrible. They eat human flesh. I fear for the villagers.
Why did they
Since
leave?
the dwarves closed the border, life has become difficult. No more caravans, no more easy money, yet we still have to pay the same taxes. The king's law states that new villages on the borders of the kingdom shall pay no taxes for 5 years. This was the main reason why they founded Broomhill. Something strange is happening around the glacier. Snow orcs have never left their home before, but nowadays they're even turning up in Talmont. And people say that they eat human flesh.
Sounds like a fun time.
Farewell.
Okay. Put our mini-map to guide us. Basically, green dots are quest locations. It's quite easy to find your way around. Now, I'm gonna confess, I was looking up during that cutscene how to drink potions and I could not find it. Double click. Solved.
You are not an easy man to follow. It took us months to find you.
Hold. Who are you?
My name is Gandahar. The message you received was from me.
I came to Talmont as soon as I read it. Why are you so cautious?
My masters will tell you everything. I am only a messenger.
Where is my sister?
I saw her only a few days ago. I can assure you that she is in good health. Nothing will happen to her if you do as we say.
If you harm one hair of her head...
You waste my time. Do you know the Goat's Cave south of here?
I do.
My masters await you there. I recommend you listen to them first before you do anything hasty.
Why will they not meet me here?
I told you, I am only a messenger. Listen to them, and no one will be harmed.
Story in this game's not too bad either. It's a good carry point, I reckon. Obviously, like I said, I hadn't finished the game, but it's intriguing enough to keep you going. Okay, I've got another level. Yeah, let's get our critical hit going. We can even invest in... I didn't even have a point. In swimming, which is always a funny point in games, because it's either completely useless or necessary. Like in Deus Ex, I think, it was like pretty good to put points in for like one specific point in the game or some stupid thing. I don't think it's super necessary in this, though I do know if you don't have any points, you are so slow. So you basically have to avoid water. But I don't know if it's ever necessary to cross water. Not from what I remember, anyway. So, moving on. That's right, we get our teleporters going.
It's good to see you still in one piece, friend. You seem to be in fine fettle.
Farid, I should have known you would end up in a place like this. So the Society finally had enough of you, eh?
How true. My future in the Society looks bleak.
Is your research such a problem, then?
No, my friend, quite the opposite. But certain people just cannot work with a genius. I have assembled a perfect copy of a genuine activator. It is something radical.
What do you mean?
Ancient teleport sites like this one behind me only function with special activators. Each teleporter has its own activator. Unfortunately, we have only found a few of these elven wonders, but if my prototype works, then we shall not need them. A few more tests and it will be ready. Well, here you are, so you may as well assist me, just for old time's sake. Take this activator and activate the neighboring site. These things send a message here when activated, and I need to be here to receive it.
For you, surely. Where is the site?
I will mark it plainly on your map. The Society found out that the Orcs invaded because of religion.
The Orcs and religion? Hard to believe somehow.
It is said that a mysterious holy man is going among the tribes, prophesying the return of Aziral.
Bah, superstition. Didn't the Orcs nail him to the gates of Gorgamar, like they did with all those false prophets before?
I do not know, but I do know that the tribes have united for the first time in history. This war is the most serious conflict to erupt in 300 years.
Farewell.
Go cautiously, friend.
Okie dokie. Oh, wow, really? Another level point just for that? Sure. Oops.
Welcome to my shop. How can I help you?
You are a mage. So yeah, gives you... the spells are pretty good. If you've got a summon spell for basically each attribute. Buff spells, like they... once again, it's hard not to compare it to Oblivion, but I'd say this game actually has Oblivion beat spell-wise. Diffusion. And this is obviously where you get your boosting cards from. I think that Reaper is nowhere near as cool as you think it is. I remember buying it, and it's like a giant crab or a spider or something. I do not want your wares, to be honest, but can I sell stuff to you? Oh, actually, that was my only bow. That wasn't very smart. I will find another. Actually, keep that. Traps. Traps are good. You can... It's a bit like, oh god, what's that other one called? Is that Outlander? The one that came out semi-recently. It's like Dark Souls, but in co-op. The trap system in it was quite useful. It's good against certain tough enemies. Because I know in a lot of games, traps just don't seem to really gel well. Or they require a bit of forethought. Like I remember in Dragon Age, usually you didn't know a fight was coming up and it felt like traps were a bit useless. Whereas if you did the battle, failed, then you knew what was going to come. Then you're like, oh, I can set up the perfect trap system. But that defeats the purpose. But this one's usually, you can kind of see a big guy in the distance and you're like, okay, I'll run around the corner, set some traps, hit him, and then drag him into it. I suppose I should be looking at the map instead of just running around like a moron. I will say, as much as the attack animation is stupid, I do love this little flourish. But yeah, I need to get like a two-handed sword. I think they're a bit better, but whatever this is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I don't know what they were trying to attack, but whatever.
Let's see.
Game has a full stealth system and everything, just like Elder Scrolls. Summon a Soul Defender. Female Soul Defender. Rings. Rings are interesting. So, the combined system. Rings will have random stats that will increase, like in this one it adds to a skill, sometimes it can be something else. Then you'll get rings, obviously this will only combine with other Jade Seal rings. And the chances of you getting that specific ring with an ability that's good for your class, it's quite interesting. It ends up being a very strange system. And just as I was saying about your enemies having piercing and slashing and bludgeon, you also have to balance all three. This is them down there. Don't know if there's an easy way to tell what type of damage an enemy does. Obviously you see them having a sword, but I don't know if they're a beast or a creature, how you work out. I guess you just have to make a judgment call, like claws will be slashing and stuff like that. Oh, that's pretty good. That straight up gives me physical protection permanently. And we'll put one of them in there as well. I don't want to do two because I can, but I think it works out the average. And it will actually just give me 1 point instead of the 2, rather than me cooking them separately. Which is very silly. Like there, it was supposed to increase my physical protection by 10, but because my alchemy, that's what it is, because my alchemy skill is so low, it's only giving me +3. Whereas it can't go below 1, so it has to give me at least 1. I don't want to waste these. I kind of want to show you, but I don't really want to waste on such a pathetic weapon. So we will continue on. Wow, I think that bear's definitely going to win that fight. Yep, he's winning for sure. Most animals in the game drop ingredients, so they're part of the alchemy system. There are plants all over the place. I kind of like that the alchemy system is much more in-depth than this one, because, well, I suppose it's one of two things. In Oblivion, it's optional. It can just make things a bit easier. In this one, I don't want to say it's necessary, but you get a huge bonus, like these permanent potions, by actually using it. Fighting multiple foes definitely does get tedious with this system. Like I said, it's easy to see when they telegraph their attacks, but when there are multiple enemies attacking at the same time or slightly a few seconds apart, you get in one hit, then you retreat. You get in one hit, then you retreat. And that can be very annoying. I think mana does slowly regenerate, but it's very, very slow. Ouch. Also, this is one of those games, just like... Well, just like the Elder Scrolls. I've got to stop comparing it to Elder Scrolls. That you can loot everything you see on them. It's not randomized loot. Ow. Ow. We are wearing them down, slowly but surely. To be fair, combat doesn't take this long usually. I'm just kind of going straight into the main quest rather than doing the side dungeons and stuff, so it is taking a wee bit longer than usual. Plus I didn't stop and buy any better equipment. I'm still using default gear. Aiming to shortcut that by taking all these guys here. I say as I'm about to get killed. Oh, okay.
Let's have a look.
Quite easy to fill up on the old inventory. We do have a weight to look at, but just like everything else, combining things helps. Combine these pants. Obviously combining stuff also increases their value. Probably not as much as selling them both separately, but you'd rather save up on inventory space anyway. A slight improvement. Slightly even better. Better. Not better. The same. What's that? Somehow even weaker, never mind. Okay. And I have no lockpicks. Oh, no, I do.
Locked.
I quite like the, despite how bad this game does look, I cannot get away from that it is a bad looking game. I like the design on all the armor and the later weapons and stuff. I find quite, and there is a huge amount. It's not like Oblivion where you only have like, what, 7 tiers of armor. There's like heaps and heaps and heaps in this one. You're gonna have very different looking stuff as the game goes on. Ooh, that's much better. Alright, I'll enchant that. Like I said, this is a throwaway character, so... There we go, cold damage 10. A beautiful, beautiful enchantment effect there, as you can see. And honestly, here's our teleporter we can activate. Whoop. Our quick travel system. And yeah, honestly, I think I've shown everything I need to. Either you like it or you don't. It's really one of those games. Personally, I can find fun in it. The exploration's fun. The combat requires enough attention to keep you entertained, I think. It's not like you saw that I used 2 potions in a fight early on. Combat is clunky, but at least it's not steamrolling. I think it'd be more boring if it was too easy, personally. And I think I'll probably... I might do a video on number 2, because 2 is different enough. It's very different than this. But it's still garnered just as much mixed opinions that it's... people either love it or hate it. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you're a Two Worlds fan. If you absolutely hated it, Or yeah, I don't know, anything else that you want me to look at as usual? Anything else that you think that the public thinks is bad, but you personally think, nah, this game is a gem? Absolutely. Because I'd love to see more examples of that. Because there's plenty I've had. There's a few others I definitely want to do videos on. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that with my amazingly good-looking character in his good-looking world. With good-looking shadows and good-looking lighting. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!